to core and, get more product and then advance up to, higher and higher and higher, all the way to premium at some point. And they're continually getting more and more product cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And at that point, they're probably sharing with other people because they're having great success probably at that time, like I have. Now, Connie, I had no clue about building. Uh, she was like, "We're going to find builders," and I'm like, "What's that?" So, you might have people that don't have any clue, and that's what you're there for. You know how to build a business, and you're going to help other people build a business. Well, this is what you do. We find the people that want to build a business, and like, well, that makes sense. And then we found people that wanted to build a business, and we're finding more, and we're finding more, and we're finding more, and people are advancing. So that's the way you do it. It's very simple, but it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding because I'm going on a cruise ship with a lot of people in my group that have advanced the level where they got the cruise ship. And then we have the Hawaii,
Mhm.
thing coming. I think a lot of people are going to qualify for Hawaii, especially in our group, because as you advance up, you're going to, you know, get more points. You get a lot of points for advancing. So I pointed out that we have several people that have advanced just this week. I would love to see that every week more and more people advance. And the way they're going to advance is just like Barry was talking about. You do the basics. You teach people that are downline how to continually, add qualifying downline volume, build out their business, and help people build their businesses. It's very key. If you really want to be in the higher levels, more stars, uh, you have to help other people build business, right? So go ahead.
I have a question because you reminded me and I just pulled it up. I had to go back into your papers there. Michael has a retail customer who popped up as a one-star manager, and we checked, and he's been buying it for months, a lot of product. And is it possible because he's a one-star manager he's paid as? I've never seen that. And he was just a
But he's
retail.
not being paid. He's qualifies for it, but because he's not a brand partner, he does not get paid
Okay, because they
for it.
call it a paid rank, but
Yeah.
okay. It's
So see how simple that is, guys?
yeah.
It just being a brand partner is going to like save tons of money. And now because he's going to become a brand partner, he's going to actually get money to buy more or pay for everything. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this. It's like
Yeah.
it's really really a no brainer, but people have to be informed, and so that's your job.
We got
That's
to
your
bring them
job to
in.
inform people how they can be successful, how they can get patches for free if that's all they want, how they can help other people, and if they want to help a lot of people, we're there. If they have
Mhm.
experience in helping a lot of people, we love to get you involved. So uh, that's where you're going to grow, and you're going to grow a lot of people. And that's what we're in the business for, helping people with the patches. That's our passion first, and then helping the people that want to help other people, help them build a business so that they can focus on that full time and help a lot more people and have a great lifestyle doing it. Be very carefree and not have to worry about anything and bills or anything, and it's help people. Gosh, every time I go to one of our conferences, and every time I go to one of our trips, I see the top people. Everybody's very happy, right? Right, Connie? Yeah, yeah, we're all happy. So, and if I think everybody in this group is happy, I'm not saying that you're going to be happy because you're going to be successful. It's because you're helping other people, and you're helping other people become successful, and you're helping yourself, right? So all these things are intertwined as you help other people. Just show them the patch. Look, I've had these great results, and somebody tries it, and they get a miracle. That's so rewarding, right? And then somebody else in their family or their group or their, sphere of influence becomes involved, and they get super excited and they blow up. And so there's been a lot of people with those kinds of success, but it never ever happens if you don't share, ever, right? So sharing is caring, of course, but you must share. I think that's one of the things that is the, for if you're a real human being and you have real success and something is good, you're going to share it. If you go to a restaurant and it's a great restaurant, you share, right? You go to the movie, it's a great movie, you share. If you try on a pair of clothes and they're like fantastic, you share. You put on a patch, it changes your life, you share. So it's. I'm not a salesman. I never have been, but I can share something I believe passionately about, and that's a patch. So you got to get to that point where you're comfortable sharing something that you believe is going to be beneficial for others. And if you get to that point, sharing is super easy, super easy. Any questions?
I was hoping there'd be a lot of questions tonight so that we could go forward. I told Michael, of course there would be. There you go.
Here we have the first one. Sean, go ahead.
Sean.
Yeah, so I'm wondering about when you talk to your preferred customer and preferred customer plus people. And so I've been saying, well, next time you go to order, before your order auto ships, go in there, and if you move up on the levels, you'll see the upgrade kits. My question is like, so the difference between the requirements month to month for the core and the starter are probably different volume amounts, right? I'm
Yes.
just taking that to be, I imagine that would be the case. In other words, if my preferred customer goes to core, let's say they're getting X39 in the Y Eon bundle, okay,
Yeah.
and then they think for some reason they want to downgrade for a couple months to just the X39. Will that take them? Will I lose something there?
No, no. And you'll see that there's a lot of people who will do that. They'll like go big and some life happens and then they pull back. They're still brand partners. They might not be purchasing,
Mhm.
but eventually, life corrects itself and then they come back and they start buying again. And maybe even more.
Yes.
So, because they see,
Okay.
whoa, I was having great success with that. I got to get back to that. So yeah, it's going to hurt. Not, I won't say hurt, but it'll bring your volume down, of course, because they're not buying as much. But that's why you share with
Mhm.
more people. And who knows, maybe they've shared with somebody, and because I have people in my business that have shared and they're not really promoting, uh, but they have people within that they promoted to that are promoting a lot. So it does build my
Right.
business through volume. So it's a volume based business. So the more volume you have throughout your business, so visualize that always the volume. It's a volume thing now. It doesn't matter where it comes from. It can come from retail customers. I have like tremendous retail customers. For me, I do Costco and all those other places. I'm like, why would you pay, retail? But some people just do or don't understand, and we can't get to them and convince them or whatever it is. But I'm not knocking that. If they want to stay there and buy it and they're consistent, I'm like, okay, that's great. So and probably Connie, I see you raise your hand.
Mhm.
Did-
If I
Go ahead.
can add in, I had a
Absolutely.
clarifying question. So Sean, the PC that you have, is has he expressed that he would like to earn an income and he would like to share?
I have several, not so far.
Okay,
None of them
so
have.
this is right. So this is the thing. It is not in your best interest to, or nor is it in theirs necessarily to move them up until they're ready to share. Because you're going to have a little retail pay off that preferred customer, and their clock starts happening the week they sign up for their week they start plus 8 weeks. So if your friend is saying, hey, I'm going to try this for a couple months and then I'll decide if I'm going to share, leave him as a preferred customer. And when you go back to him and say, hey, we can help get your patches paid for, we might be able to help you create some income if you want to go and share, and I'll team up with you and help you, then that's the time to upgrade him into the core pack, because now that starts, and when you help him go recruit his first customers or brand partners and he goes 1-star manager, he makes that extra $25 each week and you make the half match. He does it again and you help him do a few more, or one of his people, like Barry says, decides to do it. Now he's up to earning an extra 50 on top of the regular commission. So you don't want to put him into a brand partner. It was a beautiful thing they did in this plan. It allows us to get paid well on customers, get full volume for rank advancements, and move people when they're ready to share so that then they can take full advantage of the compensation plan right out of the gate. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I think that ties in with them having to find their why,
Yeah.
right? So they've
Yeah.
experienced there, because the people so far, okay, so I've got a couple of people that are in chronic pain. I have a Vietnam vet friend, Navy friend, he's been in pain since he was 14, and then it only compounded when he got in the military. But he tried it for like 3 months and then he's taken a break. And every so often I check him. I mean, he's a friend of mine, so I talk to him all the time, but every so often I'll bring it up but then I let it go and just let it simmer. Right. So, but I know that like when somebody has their personal miracle or when they see like a drastic, I imagine that's probably a good time to bring that in as well.
It is. And there's
The
a
option
couple
to
of things.
upgrade. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a couple of options. When you're asking, it's asking questions. The question could be for somebody who's getting really great results. Hey, who do you know that could use this product? Another question could be, hey, who do you know that's struggling right now in this economy? Who do you know that's looking for an additional stream of revenue? You know, we have a product that everybody needs and hardly anybody's heard about. You know, we can team up. I'm on this great team of Michael Jacobs. We got a lot of support and tools from the whole team in the upline. You know, I'll walk that with you. So it's asking those questions of people to find out what is it they want. We're not in the convincing business. We're not trying to talk them into it. We're trying to see what is it that they're looking for or who do they know? Because it may not be them. Even if you're talking to a friend, you could, and they're like, I don't know, I don't think that's a fit for me. Say, no problem. No problem. Do you know anyone? Because I would love to help anybody that's looking for either of these things, right? So those are the
Yeah.
kind of
Excellent.
conversations that create that shift.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
good.
I'll start bringing that in. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, very good, Sean. And sharing with military veterans, it's tough because military veterans we're kind of get the blinders on. We're taught a certain way, and we don't get out of a box. I've noticed that with sharing. Some people are like have results, and then they're like, oh, I got my results, I'm off. I'm moving on. It's like yeah. So it's like you're like, okay, check back in occasionally. How's it going now? But it's tough because it's a programming thing. So that's another thing that all of us are working through. There's a massive programming out there to keep people in the medical institution that doesn't accept often alternatives, right? Even if the alternatives are unbelievably successful, like LifeWave is. So it's you're having to work through a consciousness that is almost like a brick wall sometimes. So you just keep throwing stuff at it until eventually it collapses and you get through. I don't know. That's a great explanation, but that's what I found. But I keep at it. That's why I have incredible volume. And I know there's people out there that see it over and over and over again, and then something clicks, and then they try, and hopefully they keep trying and don't give up even after several months. So I don't know how old he is, but we have the adage that you should try it for every 10 years of life, at least 1 month. So, Kristen,
Hi.
hi.
I have a couple of questions. One of them is around the sales coming up, Black Friday and you said Christmas. Is it possible to know when those are going to be so we can actually get ready for them? When you announce it the same day that it starts, I'm not ready, which is
Yeah, it won't be
frustrating.
the same day. They'll give us a heads up, but they don't want to like leak it
Oh, I'm sure.
because it's like that. They're getting smarter about this because they leak it too early, and then people start selling it too early, and people start buying, and then there's confusion. So it's always great. Just know that we're patiently waiting. They don't even tell the top people because sometimes we get little whispers. We're not even getting whispers this time. So they're close hold on it, but it'll be fantastic. It's always fantastic. And there's going to be plenty of time. They always give plenty of time to get it out there. It won't be like a day or two. It's going to be several days, and it's always
Okay.
that way. Yep.
Okay, and one other comment. And I sent Connie a message already, but I just wanted to share it with you all. Connie introduced us to Elizabeth Larson when she was doing the demonstration of how the Now app works. She is an absolutely wonderful coach and has a wonderful class on how to do videos. So if you want to do videos, I have a free thing I can send to anybody that wants to learn how to do videos. And it's pertinent now because it's a timed thing. So if you just want to let me know, I'll be glad to send it to you. I have been involved since Tuesday, and it has changed my life. I swear, 180 degrees since Tuesday.
I love it.
So I
Fantastic.
am excited.
Yeah. If you want to throw it in the chat, or if you just want people to
Um,
contact you, whichever.
Yeah, I think you need to contact me because I don't right now know what I have to do.
Okay.
Um,
Suzanne.
you can just put your name in the chat and I'll get the information from the chat. and contact
Kristen, are
you.
you looking for her weekly trainings, the
No,
Zoom link and all that for her?
no, I've got it.
No, no, no. Would you like that put in the chat? I can go get it and put it in the chat if that's helpful.
Yeah, that would be helpful for everybody because those are very helpful. But
Okay.
what I'm talking about is the extra that she gave me when I started asking all of my Chris questions,
Oh, yeah. Good, good, good. Thank you.
So, yeah, the fire hose is a good fire hose for a change.
Awesome. Thank you. Suzanne.
Hello, everyone. So I've been missing the calls recently because I have a little holiday job, just sales assistant at retail, Crate and Barrel, very nice store. And retail's rough on the salespeople. So I've been patching some of the people there. And I just need some advice around this because this is my challenge. I've
When you say rough, do you mean like they're beating you or what?
kind of, yeah. It's like
Get out.
really rough. Carry this box. It's literally crate and barrel. So
Straighten it around. Yeah. Wow.
yeah. But it's great, and I have a great team that I work with, and they're all like, one's walking around with like she was in a car accident, and she's still in a boot. She can't walk, and her wrist was broken. And I patched her. I gave her some Eon for the swelling. I gave her Ice Wave, and I gave her X39. So she tried them. And the first night with Eon, so I, checked in with her, and she's like, "Oh," she goes, "I don't know what happened." And she said, "I put Eon on the first night, and I woke up in the morning," and she said it was like I was hit by a car, like just like from foot to head. And I was just like, "Oh, okay." She was like really concerned. It was a lot of pain. So I said, "Well, what instigated the injury?" And she said it was a car accident. So through my healing work, I understand that that's her body like releasing all of that tension. So I gave her another patch. She was willing to try another one. She's a very lovely woman. And I saw her today, and she was just like, she gave me a thumbs up. So that's one person there. And then the other one is my manager, who nearly had a heart attack. She was blaming on indigestion, but she had so much pain in her chest she couldn't even talk. So I did X39, X49, and carnosine. And within 10 minutes, she was great. And she said that she suffers from this a lot. So I saw her a day or two later, and I asked, "So what do you think?" And she goes, "I hate to admit it. I didn't want it to work, but it did." And she told me that 3 times, and she's still not willing to like dive in.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was just talking about. The
Right.
programming. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough to get through that.
Yeah.
But you stay consistent, and eventually hopefully in their case that you'll get through.
Right. So just keep consistent. I listened to all of that, took notes, heard everything, everything. So just keep trying. That's
Yeah,
good.
the Eon glutathione together
Oh.
work really good.
Glutathione. I didn't think of that. Okay. All right. Good.
We've
Very
had a
good.
lot of people have really good success with that, Connie.
Well, I just want to say, Susan, one of the things you could
Yeah.
do is think about pre-qualifying before you're passing out the patches. Like it's
Okay.
fine to go ahead and do that, but one of the things that to pre-qualify them could be asking, which I think you're good at because of being a practitioner of, so what happened? Oh, I was in a car accident. Oh my gosh, so you're still in pain. What's going on? And then if she tells you, well, what have you tried? And then the question becomes, are you open to alternatives? Right? And then if they say yes, now you're like, so if we found something that works, you'd be willing to commit to using it. Like, why don't
like
you
that.
know that step so that
Yeah.
now when they come back and it works, you said, well, you said you would commit to using something.
I like
And
it.
by the way, if they bring up the objection of money, it's very easy to say, look, if this works for you, let's help some other people and let's just get your patch money. You don't have to go for the big shoot of a business or a dream.
Right.
Like you don't always have to be, oh, you can start a business. A lot of people don't want a business. They automatically accidentally get one, right?
Right.
And so,
Right.
gosh, let's just, as Michael said before, 6 digital patches paid for, then it's net zero for you,
I
right?
love it. Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
would be a couple ideas to add into the conversation.
I love it. The pre-qualifying. Yes, I got it. And then would you be willing to commit? Excellent. Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
That's why Connie builds big businesses. She's a big business coach. Good job.
That's
Connie.
it.
Thank you. Yep.
Love it. Great.
Gets you right to the point. Brian.
Hey, sorry, I'm driving right now, so that's why I don't have my video on. But I just I hopped on the video kind of late because I just saw the link. But I'm working in corporate America. Drives me nuts. Been trying to break out of the break the chains for a long time, and saw this and I was like, oh, perfect. The timing just kind of hit. And so I don't want to kind of monopolize this here because it sounds like there's a lot of veterans already, but I wanted to ask if there's a place that you would suggest me going to take a look that maybe has all the information that once I stop driving, I could take a look at and kind of garner what I would need to know to get